You are listening to the Overcome Pornography for Good podcast, What's Possible with Sam. Welcome to the Overcome Pornography for Good podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Brewer. Hey everyone, welcome to today's podcast episode. Today we are doing a replay of a What's Possible interview with Sam from a couple of years ago. It's such a powerful episode, and I'm really excited for y'all to listen to it or re-listen to it if you were one of the people who listened to it back in the day, just a few years ago. But enjoy today's episode, What's Possible with Sam. Okay, everyone, I want to introduce you to Sam. He is so great. Sam, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about you?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, I am Samuel Dastrup, and I found the program from a Facebook ad, actually. And I was meeting with another coach at the time, and financially, I was kind of making excuses that I couldn't do it, but I felt drawn and I even felt directed to this program. I almost felt like, to be perfectly honest, I felt like God was saying like, this is right for you. And yeah, I guess I'll tell you more about myself and then I'll get into that. But I was born and raised in Arizona and one of 8 kids, and had wonderful parents. They raised us well. They did the best with what they had, what they were given. And, if you've ever been raised in a family that large, there's a little bit of neglect, but that's okay. Their parents are doing their best, and can't really say anything about that because, when you have 2 kids and you're barely hanging on, then you realize, why they, were not able to, give you the attention that you needed sometimes, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm married.
That can still be difficult.
Yeah.
You can still let that be difficult. Yeah.
Anyways, they were amazing parents, and they, anyways, so yeah, I'm married. I've been married for coming up on 9 years, and my wife is amazing. I love her so much. Our marriage is better than it's ever been because of this program. I could probably talk about that a little bit more in a little bit. But yeah, we've got 2 kids, Adrian Rayleigh, 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. And for work, I'm a dentist, and I live in Merced, California. And I practice in Chowchilla, California, in Central Valley. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your history, like with pornography and challenges around that for you and what that experience was.
Yeah. So when I was young, I feel like every child has a little bit of like curiosity around you've talked about like how we're sexual beings, and there's like some curiosity around that even as a child. I've actually talked to my wife about this, and she even had mentioned things from her childhood. So it was very interesting to see like that it wasn't just me, but it's
not just you.
Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of where it began, and it was never really talked about. It was very hush hush in our house. It was very like traditional kind of, Church of Jesus Christ kind of mindset, and like very much like, no, we don't do this. We don't do that. And so a lot of shame kind of, subconsciously around it, and started with masturbation, and then the wrong types of friends. And they introduced me to pornography. It was probably 11 or 12 when I first started to see some things. There was just any opportunity, like something in the mail, a magazine that was like the underwear section or some, just things that like I would see, and then I never was addressing it. I just felt shame. I was just shame and willpower. And yeah, I dealt with a lot of that all the way up until my mission. I had the whole talk with the bishop and like clean up real quick and then go on a mission, and no pornography use on the mission, but still had masturbation issues and had talked to the mission president and willpowered through it the whole mission and was clean like the last 6 months of my mission, and then like quickly fell right back into it. I mean, I guess this is like everyone's story, right? It's probably the same for pretty much everybody.
What I appreciate you like sharing too, like it's just so helpful. One of the best ways to help with shame is to hear that other people have done this too, and that you are not the only one. So many.
Yeah. I mean, I have many friends who are in similar circumstances, who we are in a place where we can have those conversations. And I'm also trying to like preach the Sarah Brewer, like, you gotta meet with it, you do this program, and they're doing other programs, which is fine. But I'm like so sold on it. I'm like, you gotta just try it, and sending them podcasts. Anyways, but it's true. They're in the same boat, same story, lots of shame, lots of willpower, and never worked, right? Go figure. Beating yourself up never actually worked. So
what?
so yeah.
Yeah. So you struggled with it young, growing up, lots of willpower, lots of shame, which, by the way, I just want to say all the studies show now that we have is that the best way to protect our kids from porn, unwanted porn use, is sex education, period.
Yeah.
Like, we think if we don't tell them about it,
right,
they'll stay away from it. But the more we talk about it, actually, the more protected they are. Because like you said, curiosity. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So, and then you went on your mission, kind of willpowered with your mission.
Yeah. Went on the mission, came home, straight into, dating. And, probably within 6 months, I was already starting to have struggles again into pornography and masturbation. Mm-hmm. And, I always told myself the lie that, like, oh yeah, when I'm married, like, it won't be an issue anymore. Like, so wrong. So interesting. And, going back to the mission, even the talks with my mission president, the thing he would say, and I'll never forget this. And, he was doing the best that he could, and I don't blame him at all. I don't, I don't knock him for this, but his words were, "Why don't you just stop, Elder?" And that just was so shame inducing, because I kept thinking, like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just stop? Like, why? Like, there must be something wrong with me. Like, I just have, like you've talked about, like, I must have, excessive, like, sexual tendencies or drive or whatever, but something's wrong with me. Like, I'm just not like other people, and something's wrong with me. And even meeting with bishops, it was always like, yeah, you probably struggle with this your whole life, because that's what we see often. Just like so shame inducing. And I don't blame them. Like, they were doing the best they could. So I don't, but I seriously am like, okay, every bishop needs to know about this program and needs to just say, look, stop right there, go listen to Sarah Brewer's podcast and to, like, go, like, because that's what I needed to hear.
Because hearing that over and over from spiritual authority can be, like, especially,
it hurt,
damaging. Yeah,
it hurt, and it just it tore me up, and I just beat myself up, and I tried to throw it under the rug and say, well, I'll never give up trying, and I'll always keep fighting. But I knew, like, I was totally out of control. Like, I had I would willpower for 2 weeks, maybe a month, and then I would just look again. And it was like cycle after cycle, never going anywhere. I did the 12-step program, going into dental school, getting married, thinking, like, let's look at better. Not long after marriage, struggling again. Obviously too much shame going on, and I didn't have a heart to tell my wife. Mm-hmm. And I hid it for years, and I, was eventually found out, basically, and, like, and then hid it again. And it again and was just trying not to hurt her, but also like not always not okay to hide stuff. Like no matter how, what intention I had. Went to the 12-step program. It was, it was good, but well, I'll say this. I lost my dad about a year and a half ago. And no, it's okay. Everybody goes through the sting of death, right? But he also struggled with this, and we had conversations. And in a moment when I was really struggling, I reached out to him, and he straight up told me, like, I'm sorry, Sam, but the 12-step program, it doesn't work. And I was like, what do you mean it doesn't work? You're wrong. Like it works. And he's like, no, like I have the same friends over and over again. And you say, hi, I'm Sam. I'm an addict. It just, it doesn't, it's a great program, but it misses the point. And I told him, like, I'm sorry, but I don't agree with you. And now I wish you were around, because I wish, I could tell him, like, you were right. You were right. And have that conversation with them.
Well, recently I posted about that a little bit, just this addiction mindset. My friend, I call him my friend, even though we just like only kind of comment on each other's Facebook or Instagram stuff.
Yeah.
TJ Counseling.
Okay.
He said, well, addiction recovery works great for addictions, but most people aren't really addicted to porn. They think that's
right.
what it is. And so it's like just not useful tool. So maybe, I don't know if that resonates with you, but maybe that's what was going on too.
It's true. It goes so much deeper than the porn. Like and one thing I loved about your program was the Pavlov's dog analogy, because it was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. Like my mind is conditioned to just go there. Like I'm comfortable with that. When I'm stressed, when I'm lonely, when I'm tired, when I'm exhausted, this and that. And like, of course, like I go back to what I was comfortable with and what my brain. So I loved that part about the program, that it's not about the number of weeks or the number of months you've had, but it's the number of urges you process. That's like your, how you see success. So.
Yeah, a lot more productive. It's a lot more.
Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit. So doing 12-step.
Yeah.
And then somehow you came across this approach, or is there more in between there that we need to hear first?
My wife would occasionally just ask, like, how are you doing with porn? And it was just such a like yes or no answer that I would just be like, oh, I'm doing good. Mm-hmm. It was like, as in like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm working on it, but I don't want to hurt her again and again until I've got this figured out. Like I want to like solve this, and then I'll tell her, like kind of like the atonement, like I'll fix myself and then I'll go to God, and ask for forgiveness, and like totally the same thing. Well, anyways, it was like it came to a head, and she found out that it wasn't doing as well as they thought. And, she was just shattered again. And it was always like so hurtful. And right about that time, I was meeting with a coach, actually, because my sister and my mother had like a come to Jesus meeting with me after my dad passed. My sister had struggles with some habits, and I opened up to her about my habits, and she had gotten some serious help and was in such a good place. And she said, I want you to get help, Sam. And she involved my mother, and my mother was like, look, I know you're gonna justify like you're okay and you'll get over this, but I don't give a crap. Like I'm gonna pay for you to get coaching. I'm gonna help you. Like you need help. And I was like, yeah, you're right.
Hey, you guys, Thursday, June 11th, I am teaching a live class that I'm so excited about. I would love to have you attend. It's free to attend. It's called How to Finally Be Free from Porn by the End of 2026. And it can absolutely happen quicker than by the end of this year, but I'm giving you the framework and the things that you need to really stay laser focused in on if you want to have that feeling of freedom, to not be burdened down by this anymore. If you're ready, if it's time, if you want to go, if you want to do it, this is the class you need to be at. It's Thursday, June 11th at 6 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can register by going to centerforovercoming.com/live class. I'll be there. I don't do these live classes. Unless you're in the program, you won't see me live very often. So I definitely recommend that you come. I'll stay to answer questions at the very end. All right, you guys, so excited to see you there.
So I found a coach. She was great, but just wasn't going anywhere. And when I saw a Facebook ad for your podcast, I was like, well, I can listen to a podcast. I drive a half an hour to work every day. Like, that'd be great. And so I started listening to your podcast, and I was just like, this is truth. Like, there are things in life where the Spirit's just like, this is truth. Like, there's nothing about it that is remotely like, Satan speaks in like two truths and a lies or anything. This was just, it like spoke to my heart. Like, you need to seek this out, and you need to, like, this is it. Like, you need to watch it. So I was just binging on the podcast, and I was like, I know I need to join this coaching. I don't know how I'm going to do it, because I haven't told my wife that I've been slipping up, and this is going to crush her. And then on top of that, financially, like, I don't know if we can do both. And I don't have the heart to like crush this coach's heart. And I'm just not good with confrontation. So I didn't want to like, anyways, it finally came to a head. She found out, my wife found out. I told the other coach, like, I need to look into this. And I jumped into this. And from the moment I started, it was like a huge change, like a completely different thing. And I don't want to like put my success on like the months of sobriety, because like, I know that's not true. Like that's not truly what it's about. It's about the number of urges. But I can't deny that, like, I've never had this kind of control in my entire life. I first went 4 months straight with no slip ups. I had a minor slip up, and now it's been 6 more months. It's been like in 20 years, I've never been in a place in life that I felt this good in 20 years. Like, from the moment I first was struggling with, masturbation, and then eventually pornography, in 20 years. And that's massive. Like, that for me, that's massive.
That gives me chills.
Yeah. For me, it's like, okay, I don't even care, about anything else. That right there tells me, like, this is, but it wasn't this, the time, like, the time didn't even really matter. It was that for once in my life, I didn't feel out of control. Like, I've always felt like I had no control over the situation. And for once, I feel like I am like gonna do this, like, I'm gonna get there. And so anyways.
And probably like that slip up you had after 4 months, like that wasn't like, oh crap, now I have to start over.
Right.
It's really been 10 months of like really amazing success for you. And that just pushed you and helped you more.
Yeah. In my mind, I can feel my mind being conditioned, like reconditioned. I can feel the urge, like, lessening. I can feel, I still have those urges, but it's not like I just have to get into this or it won't go away. It's not like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It just isn't, and like, it's just not, it doesn't have that pull like it did, and that's massive. Yeah. So I'm still working on it. And Tina and I have been talking about like the next step, but
beautiful. That's amazing. So tell me a little bit, what were some of those big breakthroughs that you had that helped you get to this point?
Yeah. So we focused on the urge milestone first. And that was honestly like the majority of it was urges.
And just let me say really quickly, when you say we, so just so everyone knows,
okay,
because you worked private coaching
Tina.
with Tina in the program.
Yeah, with Tina.
And sorry, one more thing, just for those who don't know or haven't heard me say right, in the program, you can come in and do the work yourself, which you've heard some people who in these interviews that I've been doing talk about that. And some people who also work with a private coach alongside, they both have great benefits. And that's just the path that you took. So just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah. And so Tina, I am very much a all or nothing kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another thing that the program has showed me is like, no, that's not the right mindset. And so Tina and your podcast and you, it showed me, like all or nothing is not great. And even like the judging, like based off the number of months, like is not great because it kind of urges you towards a all or nothing mindset. And so she's like, let's just focus on one milestone. Let's not like do all of them, so, which was really good because I just go there like all or nothing. So we was focused on urges and just doing and like counting them. Like the app, I started counting the urges and I started like, I wasn't so good at the stop, drop and breathe. I'm still working on that even. And even just like I was thinking I was like processing, but I was really kind of still like over analyzing and almost willpowering slightly instead of dropping straight into my emotions and like stop, drop and breathe. And so like I've that's been like the process, but I was working on that and that made a huge change. And then she saw like a critical area of my life that had nothing, well, not nothing, but had seemingly nothing to do with porn. And that was my job. I was in probably a worse place than the pornography, to be honest, with my job. Because I, for one reason or another, was being extremely critical about myself and about the quality of my work. And I'm a perfectionist and that's like a dangerous thing, like, and I compare myself to my brothers. They're both dentists and I actually work for my brother. And anyways, I knew my numbers, my production numbers and theirs. And I would just doubt myself and beat myself up. And if I'm like so hard on myself about if patients are completely satisfied with me and I would just come home just like beating myself up and I would be a wreck and it would just lead to, worse, like when psychologically you're not in a good place, like your performance goes down. Right. Mm-hmm. And Tina helped me see like, okay, we need to step away from the urges and we need to go into belief system. And so we started working on that and my whole life changed dramatically in a short period of time from like dreading work, doubting myself, hating myself, it like really just struggling to keep it together, kind of wanting to erase myself, like not actually going to go there because I wouldn't ever leave my family destitute like that, but not wanting to live anymore, like in that place. And it went from that to like better than I've ever been. Like I do not dread work anymore. I am able to drive to work and say, there's going to be some crap today and it's going to be stressful, but I am a great dentist and I know how to do good quality dentistry, and I'm going to get through it. I always do. I'm going to do my absolute best, and I'm going to provide quality care. And things just totally flipped, like 180.
Wow.
And now I'm trying to take that and use that same methods that I use there to get to the next level of my urges in like public settings, something where I'm just like stuck in this fight or flight mode where I can't get away from the urges. They're like everywhere, and I'm trying to get to that next level of processing. So,
wow. I love it. How did that experience with your job? Did it have any relation to pornography and urges? Because you said like it didn't look like it had any relation, but have you seen any during that?
I mean, I would be lying if I didn't say that the pornography stole a massive part of me, like spiritually, my confidence in my marriage, in myself, in my priesthood callings, and all of that. And so, it does apply in a way if I'm bringing that lack of confidence already to work, already kind of doubting myself in that regard, I'm going to doubt myself in other places like work. So it does come around full circle if I were to be honest. And so, I feel like, they are connected in a way.
Yeah. I think that we're coming in to quit porn, but you also come in and you get to learn how to love your job again.
Yeah. Right. That was the bigger, honestly, like that. And it goes so much further than that. Like now I have more capacity to love my children when I come home because I'm not bringing that home. Like I am not snapping at them. I am like more patient with them, with my team at work, with patience, because I love myself again. Like I've just hated myself my whole life. I know nothing more than to hate myself and loathe myself. And I didn't realize that or admit that, but I hated myself. And up until this, and I've had a lot of like trauma from my childhood, from bullying that went into this and to hating myself, and telling myself I'm no good. And for once in my life, I don't hate myself anymore. And that goes straight into like how I treat my children and the capacity to love them and teach them like it's okay to have, that sexual curiosity, and it's okay and to have those conversations and then help them not be traumatized like maybe I was. And I don't fault my parents. They did a really good job. They did a lot better than what they were given.
Mm-hmm.
So
what lucky kids. What a gift for them.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, you can really screw up your kids. I feel like I've just started realizing you can anyways.
I'm with you there. I'm like, oh my gosh, is there any way to like not add trauma to your kids? I don't know, but I'm going to do my best.
Right. How do I not shovel my crap onto them? I guess that's the point of life, right?
I mean, I think that's like a big shift we're seeing, at least I see in the world a lot, is people are now more focused on healing themselves. And because they realize when you heal yourself, you heal your kids. Like when you just focus on other people and you're like ignoring the stuff inside of you, it perpetuates trauma and stuff.
Totally. Yeah. Like what? Yeah. That generation was like, hush, hush. Mm-hmm. If you're getting therapy, there's something wrong with you. Yeah. And like, and still like some of that, like still today, like there's a little bit and I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I'm just like, okay, I look at porn. I've had problems with porn and this is who I am. And like, I'm gonna talk about it so I can help others and I can fix myself.
Yeah, so good. I love it. So what do you think is possible for you now as a result of the work you've done so far? Like, what's next?
I love your recent podcast of the don't settle, right? And that's kind of what's next. So yeah, I'm working on that, but I still buffer a ton, and not in the way of like pornography, but like I'm a YouTube addict, big time. And I've started a YouTube channel because I want to create rather than like my new mantra. And honestly, because of you and your podcast, is like create, not consume. So like create, not consume, right? And you talked about that, and I love that because consumption is like our generation, and I just hate it. Like I hate what it does to me. I hate that I run away from my problems. I just spend so much time on YouTube consuming. And what it really comes down to is like, I want to do things, but I don't have the money for it. Like I want to race. I love racing. And yeah, I want to create a life where I can be a dentist, I can be a father, and I can like spend tons of time with my family, but also I can do some of the things I love and have the resources to do that. And so what that looks like for me is like, maybe I can create a YouTube channel and over the years, maybe build up to where it can financially, I don't know. But even if it didn't, just like creating rather than consuming is enough reason to do it. Cause like how many freaking hours do I waste like just consuming and creating content, even if like nobody watched it and whatever, like would still be better use of my time. And not the best use of my time, but like a better use of my time.
Yeah, I love that. Well, and like with porn too, you thought you'd never be able to quit porn. And now look at the success you're having.
Right.
I mean, people create and make a lot of money off of YouTube. Why not you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not? It's the same thing.
I don't know. My views have changed, but I just want to race. I just want to race. And I want to be a good dad, and I want to be a good dentist. And I do love dentistry, and I love the craft, and I love, getting better and better. And I love like seeking excellence, in everything that I do. It's like the one thing that I'm just like hell bent on, to like be excellent at everything, for better, for worse. But as long as it's not perfectionism, like excellence, is okay. Like, yeah. Anyways, I digress.
Cool. Well, so thinking about people listening to this podcast that where you were a year ago, a couple years ago, 3 years ago, whenever.
Yeah.
Like thinking about them, do you have any last insights or anything else you want to say?
Totally. Yeah. Just freaking spend the money and get the coaching, because like you say, the best investment that you can make, it's not in the stock market, it's not in this, it's not that, it's in yourself, it's in your mind. Investing in yourself is the greatest thing that you can do, because it will not only empower you, but it will empower generations to come. Your wife, your family, it will, heal relationships. It will give you, what you're seeking for in life. Like it's worth the money. It's worth the money. Just do it and stop making excuses. That's what I would tell myself. I'm not telling people because I know how hard life can be, money, but just I'm telling myself that really 6 or however many months ago.
Yeah. Like, really beautiful. I love that.
Do it.
I remember making a really big investment in one of my first coaching programs, like $18,000 something.
Yeah.
And we were living in my parents' basement, and Barely starting to make a little bit of money. And my husband's like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you are not asking. You are not seriously considering this, are you? I'm like, I actually am, because it was kind of like I'd been listening to this podcast and it totally changed my life. I'm like, I'm so like I can do so much with that.
Right.
And so we did it. And it was crazy.
And look where you're at.
It was crazy. And going back, even my husband, he says, going back, what I would tell myself is don't fight her on that. Like, this is going to be one of the best things you guys can do for your marriage, for your relationships. And then of course, for like what I do in the world now too.
Yeah.
That. So
exactly.
So I totally feel you there. And I've tried to make my program much more affordable than $18,000, but it's still, if you're not used to investing in yourself, it can feel like a lot, for sure.
It's always going to feel like a lot. And honestly, your program is amazing, and it is more than worth the money. It is more than worth the money. It is not even that expensive. Like, just do it,
Mm-hmm.
So
anyways.
That's my plug.
Thank you. Well, and congratulations. And just like I said, thank you so much for showing up and sharing your story with people. So helpful for so many people. And thank you. Look where you are because of you and because of what you committed to. So hope you feel.
Yeah. And thank you. I have a lot to owe to you and Tina, and really thank you guys, because I would be in the same mess if it weren't for this program. I'd be in the same mess.
Well, and I am continuing to tell people, I'm like, but remember, you're the hero here, because there are also like 25,000 people who listen to this podcast every single week. Not all of them are where you're at. Like, you're where you're at because of what you have done. I get to teach you, I get to give you the stuff, but like the results come from you. Yeah.
And unfortunately, it took a whole hell of a lot of pain to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Not rock bottom, but like in, the pain that I caused my wife to push me, and the being pushed by my sister and my mom. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, I feel like God directed me to this program. I really do. Yeah. I really do. So,
that's how I feel about the programs I started with too.
Yeah.
That was God.
Yeah. I really do feel that way.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. I want to invite you to come and listen to my free class, How to Overcome Pornography for Good Without Using Willpower. We talk about how to stop giving into urges without pure willpower or relying on phone filters so that you can actually stop wanting pornography. We talk about how to stop giving up after a few weeks or months, and spoiler alert, the answer isn't have more willpower. And then lastly, we talk about how to make a life without porn easily sustainable and permanent. If you're trying to quit porn, this class is a game changer. So you can go and sign up at sarahbrewer.com/masterclass, and it is totally free.